Have you ever smiled in public whilst quietly wondering if everyone else understands life better than you? You see people online, successful, organized, glowing, and somehow it feels like they received a manual for life that you never got. But what if I told you that one ordinary Tuesday changed how one woman saw success forever? Stay with me. A few months ago, I met a woman at a school pickup. Nothing special at first, just two moms standing near the gate, watching their children run out with bags bigger than their bodies. She looked calm, put together, hair neat, clothes simple but elegant. You know the type, the kind of person you assume has life completely sorted. We started talking casually. Weather first, then homework stress, then rising food prices. Because honestly, that's where most conversations end up these days. She laughed and said, "Sometimes I feel like I'm failing at everything." I almost laughed because it didn't match what I was seeing. Failing? Hair? She told me she used to work in a corporate job, good salary, respectable title, the kind families proudly mention during introductions. But after having her second child, everything changed. Childcare costs went up, work expectations increased, and somehow she found herself rushing through mornings, feeling guilty at work, then rushing home, feeling guilty again. Every day felt like she was disappointing someone. Her boss wanted more availability. Her children wanted more presence. Social media showed mothers baking perfect lunches and building businesses at the same time. She said something that stayed with me. I realized I was living a life that looked successful but didn't feel peaceful. One evening, after missing another school event because of a meeting that could have been an email, she sat in her car and cried. Not loud crying, the quiet kind. The kind where you question who you are becoming. That night, she made a decision people around her didn't understand. She stepped back from her job, not because she was lazy, not because she lacked ambition, but because she wanted alignment, not applause. At first, people talked. "You're wasting your degree. You worked so hard for this. Are you sure?" And that's the thing about life decisions. People often measure your choices using their fears. She started small, baking at home, helping at school events, volunteering occasionally. Nothing glamorous, but slowly, something changed. She began sleeping better. She laughed more. Her children started telling her stories again instead of just summaries of the day. One afternoon, another mom asked if she could teach a small baking session for children. She almost said no. Self-doubt still whispered loudly. But she tried. That small session turned into another, then another. Soon, she realized something powerful. Success is not always climbing higher. Sometimes, success is coming closer to who you truly are. She told me, "For the first time, I don't feel like I'm chasing life. I feel like I'm living it." And standing there at the school gate, surrounded by noise and Russian parents, I understood something deeply. Many people you admire are also figuring things out quietly. The polished life we see is often built on invisible struggles. And maybe adulthood isn't about having everything together. Maybe it's about choosing what matters, again and again, even when it looks ordinary to others. You know, listening to her reminded me that comparison has become one of the loudest pressures of our generation. We compare timelines, careers, parenting, finances, even happiness. But life isn't a race with one finish line. Peace looks different for everyone. So if you feel behind, confused, or unsure whether you are doing enough, remember this: you are allowed to redefine success. You are allowed to grow slowly. And you are allowed to build a life that feels right, not just one that looks right. Sometimes the bravest decisions is choosing peace over pressure. And maybe today, whilst you're cooking, working, driving, or resting, ask yourself one simple question: what version of success actually makes me happy? And that brings us to the end of today's episode. I really hope this story spoke to you in some way. Maybe it made you reflect, maybe it encouraged you, or maybe it simply reminded you that you are not alone on this journey called life. If you enjoyed listening today, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. When you share these stories, you help someone else who might need encouragement at exactly the right moment. And honestly, that's how we grow. Not just as a channel, but as a community, a space where we learn from each other, support each other, and remind ourselves that real life is not about perfection, it's about progress. I would also love to hear from you. What part of the story stayed with you the most? Drop a comment and let's continue the conversation there. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Your presence here truly means a lot. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to your journey, and remember, you are doing better than you think you are. I look forward to seeing you again in our next episode of Podcast with Sheila.